This video is all about the Chop Shop, the new salvage yard in GTA 5 Online. We're going to be going over how to run this business, how to make passive money from this business, how to get the new Grotti Ommagio for free, which is the Ferrari F8 Tributo, and also showing you how to complete all of the missions, all of the robberies. So all of that and more right here, right now. Let's get into it. All right, so first and foremost, let's go over the basics. Let's go over how to purchase it and where you should purchase it location-wise. And then we're going to get into absolutely everything. We're going to be showing you how to get all of these cars in here like I have behind me. Also, the Chop Shop and how to make money from that using the tow truck and passively. And as you can see, if we go up to our office right here, we have a wall safe. We currently have almost 20,000 inside. Apologies if I look tired. I'm running on like 3 hours sleep today. But anyway, let's go over location first and foremost. So if you go into your phone, you're going to want to click on Maze Bank. And once you click on that, it's going to be salvage yards. And then you're going to have 3 in the south, in the city. And then you can have 2 up north. I would not recommend the ones up north. They are way too far away. Most of these missions are going to be down south in the city. So even if you're like, I'm poor, I can't afford it, just grind. Go do the Cayo Perico or something first. Do not buy one of these up north. It is not worth it. With that being said, it could change as the weeks go on. The ones up north may be good in like a month from now, because if you didn't know, these vehicles that you do the missions for, the robberies, they're going to change every week. And just like you saw in the trailer when you could see Shamu, you know, swimming past and you were coming up to a submarine, those missions aren't in the game yet. Those are going to be coming. So this is drip feed content. There was also going to be more heists. There's going to be up north at the TheTacoFactory, which is going to be right next to the one that's very far north. So all I'm saying, it could change over the next few weeks. So just keep that in mind. So then that leaves us with these 3 down here. Which one do you want to choose? Now, you would be leaning towards this one, which is the most expensive, which is the one they showcase in all of the trailers and advertisements for this DLC. But you do not want this one either, because there is the gang battles and things that go on in this location. And not only that, it has a really long driveway to get to it. It's just not worth it. It's the most expensive. Maybe they'll change it in the future. But as of right now, I wouldn't do that one. You could do Moretta Heights. This one's not too bad, but again, it's just a little far outside of the city. But I think the best one is going to be Strawberry. So if you have the cash, this is the one I would go for. Now, once you purchase it, what do you need to upgrade? Now, for the most part, this is all going to be cosmetics. So as usual, we can change the color of the inside of this business, and keep in mind, these may go on sale in like a month. They typically do when a new business happens. So if you are light on money, don't worry about the cosmetic stuff for now. Just wait a month. So I have mine just set up on black anyway. Get trade rates. Definitely get that. You're going to want the trade rates because that is going to help you get cheaper rates when you have to claim your vehicles from insurance. Next up, we have the tow truck. Again, this is something you're going to want to purchase. This is how you're going to get passive income with this business. So while you're out and about doing your own thing, this tow truck is going to be going. You're not going to be able to see it, but it's kind of going to be doing its own thing. You're going to be making a little bit of passive money. And to boost it, you can do these missions yourself, which I'll show you a little bit later on in the video. Now, as far as which tow truck to get, doesn't matter. Get whichever one you want. I got the red shiny one, the new one, just because I wanted my business to be nice and clean and new, but you can get whichever. Wall safe. Again, you are going to want to get this wall safe if you're going to want to make passive money with this business. So this is just a complete no-brainer. Make sure you get the wall safe. And then staff is just going to be able to make sure you can break down cars for parts and things like that just a little bit faster. It's just going to speed up the amount of money you make, basically. Okay, now let's continue. So as you can see right now behind me, I do not have any cars that are up on these, but I can show you right here. Cars do go up on them and they do get chopped up and you do get paid for it. But in order to get these on here, like I say, you need to take out your tow truck yourself, do some missions. And for the most part, they're very easy. You can have the police chase you. You can have like some gang members and things like that. But for the most part, they're pretty simple. I personally do think this DLC should have been called Cops and Robbers though, because you will notice if you haven't already, if you're not very good or you don't like evading police, you're not going to like this DLC because you get wanted levels constantly in this DLC. It should be called Cops and Robbers. I felt like after doing all of these robberies, I was just constantly trying to run away from the police. It is actually quite annoying. I don't know why they made it so heavy with the police in this one, but it is what it is. So once you've got this place set up, when you want to start doing money, it's going to launch you right into this straight away anyway. But if I register as a boss right here, and then we enter our computer, this is where all of your business is going to take place. You're going to have these 3 vehicles, and each vehicle is going to give you a different like robbery. And we're going to be going over all 3 of them here today. At least the 3 that are available right now. Like I say, this changes every week. So eventually I'll have a guide out that'll show you all of them. But right now we just have these 3 for this week. And also, as I just said, if I didn't mention it already, these rotate once a week. So you're not going to get a new one every in-game day or every day in real life. It's going to be every real week. Now, as you can see on here, there is a max sell value and there is a salvage value. Now, if you salvage it, all you do is select salvage. Let me show you. Once you've got a vehicle like this, you can see I can walk up to it. So I can either salvage this vehicle for 316 and I don't need to do anything. What will happen is this car will go up on one of these things behind me and then my staff will start salvaging the vehicle. And we will eventually get 316,000 for it. Or as you can see right here, there is sell. Now, obviously, you're going to get some more money for selling, but it is a sell mission, so you're going to have to drive this thing to the docks to sell it. So it is going to be a little bit more risky. So basically, do you want to sell it, get more money, but you've got to go and drive it somewhere? Or do you want to just salvage it and make a little less, but you don't need to do anything? Now, there is a third option right here, as you can see, which is sell multiple. But in order to do this, you need to be playing with friends, basically, or hire some bodyguards to work with you. And then you can sell all 3 of them at once. All right, so I'm going to be showing you guys me selling all 3 of these vehicles. We're going to do some in a solo lobby or an invite-only lobby. And we're going to do some in public lobby to see how much money we get. But first, let's go over all of these robberies, show you how to do them, show you what I've learned from them, and then at the end, we'll go ahead and sell these. Let's jump into it. All right, so I'm going to try and keep this as short and sweet as possible, not to bore you, but while also giving you all the information you're going to need. So as you can see right here, we have the 3 vehicles. This is what it's going to show you every week. And like I say, it's going to update once a week. Now, it doesn't matter which order you do these in. You can do it in whatever order you want. So once you've selected which vehicle you want, the first thing you're going to get is the scope out mission, as you can see right here. Now, the scope out mission is going to be the same for all 3, just obviously in a different location. This mission is called the Gangbanger Robbery, and this one is going to be in Mission Row. So for this one, I would recommend using the Oppressor Mark II. It's just such an easy vehicle for like grinding and getting around the map, and you're not going to need to get off your vehicle. You can take pictures while you're still on top of it. Like I say, for this one, it's going to be the police station, so we're just going to fly on over there, take pictures of what it prompts us to take pictures of, and then once we've got all of those pictures, we're just going to head on back to the salvage yard. All right, once back at the salvage yard, as you can see right here, now we have the options. So you can see the scope out has been crossed out because we have done that. Now, the first thing you'll notice is the top right, it says tasks. You have to do all of those tasks except for the bottom one, which says optional masks. But those 3 tasks are all, you have to do them, basically. They are part of the mission. It's just the way they've set this up. They're just trying to make it a little bit more immersive. So, for example, if you look at the bottom, it says planning work. We're going to go ahead and do our first mission, which is Police Maverick. Now, for this one, you're going to head on over to Weasel News Building. You're going to figure out where the helicopter is. And then you're going to head on over to the location. Now, a lot of these missions, you do get bonuses, a 50,000 bonus in total. If you complete them without like breaking stealth and without killing anyone, I couldn't figure out how to do it. Mind you, as you can see here, I flew my oppressor just onto the roof, grabbed the helicopter, dropped it off at the location, and then it says you got to leave the area. And then it's just work complete, Police Maverick acquired. Now, if you look at your mini-map, you can see these green duffel bags. Now, these are the tasks that I was talking about. They are still mandatory, just the same as the other missions that you can choose, like the one we just did, acquiring the police helicopter. But these you do while you're out and about in free roam. So as you can see, we're going to click on that very first one, head into the building. Now, always make sure you have full snacks and full armor because these guys can be pretty brutal. Make sure you're ducking and weaving. And just like I say, make sure you've got a lot of health and armor and a lot of snacks. But then once you've cleared them all out, you can choose. You can literally choose whichever one of these cars you want to use as your getaway vehicle. For me, obviously, I went for the 600R, or the 300R, sorry. I mean, it's small, it's nimble. I think it's the best car that you can get out of those anyway. And then you have an option of 3 different locations to drop it off. I just dropped it off at the very first one and it worked. So then I decided to do another one of the tasks. And this one was for the weapon stash. So we had to go to an ammunition and then just pick up the weapon stash, as you guys can see right here. and then we just walked on out. And then I grabbed some armor on the way out just to make sure that I am locked and loaded. And then you got to take the weapon stash to the police station. Now for this, as you can see on the bottom right there, there's a suspicion counter. And the longer you take, you have a chance of spooking the police. The police are going to be everywhere in this bloody DLC, in this business anyway. But if you can get in and out fast, you don't have to deal with it. For me, once I had stashed the guns underneath the little trash can, my oppressor was upside down and being a pain in the butt. So I ended up getting the police after me anyway and getting a wanted level. And then I just had to go and wait for them to go. At this point, this is where you need to make sure you're paying attention. Because I actually went over to one of the markers. I'm just not used to it, right? It was the same duffel bag, but this time it was white. And I didn't understand why it was white. But that's because it's a mission that I've already completed. But you can do the mission again and choose a different vehicle. So I ended up doing the mission again. I ended up just choosing the exact same vehicle. But I'm letting you guys know just so you don't make the same mistake. If you see the white duffel bag, don't worry about it. You've already completed that one. It's just there if you want to change vehicle. Anyway, let's move on to the rest of the planning work. As you can see here, the tactical gear. So for this mission, we have to head on over to the lockup. I just used my Oppressor Mark II to take everyone out on the outside of the building. I'm not sure if you can do this stealthily, but I just didn't. It wasn't worth it for me. And the same thing for this one, just like the vehicle warehouse. Make sure you have snacks and armor because there's going to be a lot of people shooting at you and they're going to have a lot of ammo, and they're going to have a lot of automatic weapons, and they can shred you pretty easily. But once you've taken everyone out, what you're going to want to do is go up to the back of these trucks, and as you can see right here, we're searching for the tactical gear. For me, it ended up being in the second or third one, and then once we had found it, we took the riot van out. We had to take the riot van back to our salvage yard. Now for this one, we just had bad guys chasing us, which I actually prefer. There was no police. And as you guys know, as soon as you get up close to your location, those guys will just fall back anyway. So this one was fairly easy as long as you've got snacks and ammo. So next up, we have the optional work. This is essentially disruption missions. Just like in the Cayo Perico heist, when you do disruption missions, it just makes your life a little bit easier, but it is definitely optional. You definitely do not have to do this. I did it for the first one just to see what happened. And the mission itself was just like the Cayo Perico disruption one, where you have to fly around and just take out things. And it was very easy. But this is the only one I did it for. The other two robberies, I didn't do this optional disruption missions, and I don't think you need it. Unless you're struggling with it, you don't need it. I also never got the optional masks. If you want them, go for it, but I didn't. All right, and then it was time for the robbery itself. Now for this one, the Gangbanger Robbery, you have to head on over to the police station and land on the roof. Once you've landed on the roof, go ahead and take out the first cop with your little zapper, your little stun gun. And then you're going to want to throw this gas into the vents. It's easier to try and get high ground. You can actually jump onto all of these like I'm showing you right here. So you don't have to make it difficult for yourself and try throwing it a long distance. It's much easier just to jump up on the side of one of them, and you can jump up on the side of all of them and then throw it directly in. Once you've thrown it in, you're going to go down within the police station. There's honestly not many police in there at all. You're only going to have to shoot a couple people with a stun gun. And for me, the cell keys are going to be in this office right here once we took out that one guy with a stun gun. Now, once you've got the cell keys, you're going to head on down to the basement. Again, there's going to be one or two people you got to take out along the way. And then when you get down there, you're going to want to go onto the computer. And if you've done the Cayo Perico heist, you should be a professional at this by this point. And just go ahead and do this little brute force little mini game. And then you're going to break out King Tiny. So obviously keep your eye on his health. You can't steal this police car. So the best thing to do is just make sure you take out all of the people out front. Make sure you get the guys in the riot gear first, because those guys will have automatic weapons. And then I ran straight over to our car and went off in it. Now, we need to take him to his own little helicopter. The problem is, as you can see, we have 4 stars. There's always police in this DLC, I tell you. So what I found is I just drove straight down the train tracks until we got to like the little LA River type thing. And then just like when you do the casino heist and things like that, we just went into the gutter and I waited out right there. And then as soon as the cops went, we just drove to the location. Tiny got in his helicopter, and then he told us the location of the Grotti. And as you can see, infiltrate the baller's hideout. Now, don't worry, this part is fairly simple. I just flew over there with my oppressor. Once we got there, I just started blowing everyone up. But it is kind of annoying because once you've blown everyone up outside, you go into the garage and there's the car. And then I was kind of stuck behind the exploded cars. Eventually, I pushed past them. But just FYI for you, for future reference, Maybe don't blow up this one because you're going to get stuck in the garage. But anyway, as soon as I got out, it was fairly easy. We didn't have any police chasing us. The bad guys are pretty awful at keeping up with this thing. And we just drove it back to the salvage yard. Now, as you can see right here, robbery complete. So for this one, I could have got, I think it was up to 50,000. So the all challenges complete one, that gives you 20. And then the other 3 give you 10 each. So that'll be 50,000 in total. Now you can see no cop lives lost. Obviously, that happened because we set the alarm off. I'm not sure how to do it stealthily, to be completely honest with you. And then jailbreak in 3 minutes. Since it was my first time, I was just looking around and exploring. But next time, I'll definitely try and do it. You're only going to get 50k, but it's better than nothing. Okay, so at this point, there is a cooldown. I think it's only like a 5-minute cooldown. But this is the perfect opportunity to jump on in your truck. If you want, you can change the color of it. But for me personally, I just think the red looks good. And the license plate's red. So why not just keep it red? But this is the perfect time, like I say, to do some tow truck service missions. Now, like I say, these are very simple. You just drive to the location, pick up the vehicle. If you have cops, you got to lose them. Sometimes you may have bad guys chasing you, but that's fine. Like I say, the police, you're going to get wanted levels quite often in this, unfortunately. But once you got rid of them, just take it back to your shop. It'll say that the vehicle's been recovered, and on the bottom left there, you'll see the Banshee is being salvaged for parts. And on the top right, you can see it says your staff have begun salvaging parts for this vehicle. The earnings from this vehicle will be added to your account once all parts have been salvaged. And like I say, that takes about 1 in-game day. And it's kind of cool because as you can see right there, it's all fully constructed. But as you come back, as you're like progressing doing these missions, you'll notice like the doors are gone, the engine's gone. So you can see it get broken down in real time. It's kind of cool. Okay, so the first one, as you'll already know if you've done this yourself, is free. There's no setup cost because it's your very first one. Going forward, they're going to be a $20,000 setup cost, which doesn't make much sense, but Rockstar loves just making us pay to be able to make money. It's kind of weird, but it is what it is. So let's go ahead and start this one up for 20,000. Now, this one is the Duggan Robbery. And again, just like the last one, you got to do the scope out, and this one is going to be at the Maze Bank Arena. So for me, when I got to the arena on this one, I accidentally shot my gun and I blew myself up, so I kind of just ruined it for me. But you can come up to this and take some pictures. You do need to get off though to go inside, as you can see right here, to take the second picture. But then once you've got the second one, you're just going to head on outside into the bottom, and you can see it's going to be on the underground portion like of the arena. Now, once you've scoped out the whole thing, you're just going to have to lose the cops like always and then head back to your salvage yard. So just like the other one, once you're back at the salvage yard, you can start seeing the tasks and the planning work you need to do. So for this one, for the tasks, there's only 2 tasks this time. One of them is the LS Panic trailer and one is the outfits. So we'll do those here in a second. First and foremost, let's go to the bypass module. So first, you're going to have to destroy the signal jammers. They're going to be shown on the map, so it's super easy. You fly over to them, shoot them all. Very simple. Once that's done, you're going to have to go over to the Merryweather lockup. Now, I ran out of ammo in my oppressor for this one, so I had to land and shoot them. But again, just make sure you've got snacks and armor, especially for this one, because there is a juggernaut inside of there. But for me, since I did throw a rocket in there, the floor was on fire and it ended up burning him. So it kind of worked out in my favor. But anyway, once you've killed everyone, you can go inside and steal the bypass module. And then once you've got that, you can head back to your salvage yard. Now, next up, we have the VIP pass. For this one, you're going to head on over to the abandoned workshop. And if you want, you can try and be stealthy. I personally didn't. But they're only security guards, so it's not too bad. But you'll see that the room you're trying to go into is locked and you need to find a key card. Now, if you just go downstairs, there's going to be 2 rooms with a key card or with like a hack thing that you can hack into. It's the one on the left-hand side, the one you can see me going into right here. And just like all of the other brute force things like the Cayo Perico, you've just got to spell something out. This one was hot bombs. For this one, the key card was right there in front of me. You can see it on the desk, but it didn't prompt me and it didn't show. So I went into the room next door, couldn't find it. And then eventually I went back into that original room I went into, and this time it was there all along. It was still there, but this time it was prompting me to get it. So once you've got it, you just need to deliver that back to the salvage yard. Now it's time to do the tasks. Now the tasks for this one are actually a little bit more difficult than the planning work itself. So for the first one, we need to head on over to the airport where we're going to be picking up the Los Santos panic trailer. And for this one, similar story. You're just going to have to take out security guards, so at least it's not too difficult. But once you've taken out all of the security guards, you're going to need to find the keys. Now the keys for this are actually going to be right near the entrance where you came in. At least it was for me, as you can see here. I don't know if it changes for everybody, but I will check here first just to make sure. And then once you've got the keys, you're going to get inside the truck. Again, you're going to have to lose the police, but once you've lost the police, you're just going to head on over to an alleyway that's fairly close to your chop shop, or fairly close to the maze arena, I should say. And then you just need to leave the area once again. Now, if we pull up our map, we can look for our second location. And for this one, it's the outfit. So we've got to go into the suburban store, walk on inside. As you can see, for me, mine was over on the far left near the cashier. And then as soon as we go outside, what happens? Lo and behold, who would have thought, ladies and gentlemen, we got some wanted levels. So go ahead, get rid of them, head back to your salvage shop, and we can start up the robbery. All right, so this is a fun one, the Duggan Robbery. So for me, once again, I just hopped onto my Oppressor Mark II, headed over to our stashed truck, grabbed the truck, and headed on over to the arena. Once you get to the arena, you're going to pull up outside and then walk on inside. And then once you get inside, you just got to flash your key card or your badge and then head on downstairs to the elevator. Now, once you come out of the elevator, I'm pretty sure you're just going to trigger the alarm immediately. So just go ahead and start guns a-blazing. Just take out absolutely every single person inside of there. Now, once you've taken them all out, it's going to prompt you to go and look through the telescope. And what you're looking for is this vehicle right here, the Hot Ring Hellfire. And this is what it looks like for me. I don't know if it'll be a different color for you. But for me, it was this one right here. And once you've located it, it says you need to disable Going to Hellfire with the drone. So as you can see on the bottom here, some of these are green. You're going to walk up to a green one, and then you pull out a drone. Now, for me, I could have swore I hit it multiple times, but it didn't work until the last time when I got very close, and the car just stops in its tracks. Now, it's kind of just an absolute mad mission. Very unrealistic, obviously, but just kind of an absolute insane mission. So you're going to run downstairs, then you're going to get in this truck, drive it over to the Hellfire, steal the Hellfire. But first, you need to drive around the track a couple times because as you can see right there on the bottom left, it is installing the bypass module. So I just had to do like a lap or two or a lap and a half until that was installed. And then we're out on the streets. And originally it says go to the salvage yard, but then it quickly directs you to Howe's house. Once you're in the house, the bomb will be taken off. And then you just got to head back to your salvage yard. And there you have it. It was that easy. And as you can see for this one, we only got 10,000 again. So over 15 headshots, I just didn't do that. Disable target vehicle on first attempt. Definitely didn't do that. I hit it multiple times, I felt like, but it just didn't work. And then I got the 10,000 for each AO in 1 minute. But the all challenges would have been 20. So out of a possible 50, I got 10. All right, now you're going to do the same thing again because you do have a cooldown. So just go ahead and use your trailer here or your tow truck and just do a tow truck mission. And then as soon as you've dropped it off at your salvage yard, it should be ready to do the final one. And for me, this is the Cargoship Robbery. So same thing as always, scope out the docks. We got to do the scope out mission first. So head on over to the docks. Same thing. You can just stay on top of your oppressor, take some pictures. I had to get off my oppressor because for some reason it wasn't letting me take pictures while I was on it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't bloody know. But eventually I took all 3 of them. And then, of course, once again, you got to lose the cops and then head back. All right, so first and foremost, as you can see, we've got tasks again. We have 3 tasks this time and 2 for the planning. And again, the optional one, I do not do this time. I didn't do it for the last one. I'm not doing it for this one. So first and foremost, we need to do the first mission, sabotage and disguise. So you're going to head on over to Elysian Island. I tried taking out the camera because the camera shows and just like, you know, Cayo Perico, you can shoot the camera. But this one, you can't. The camera just doesn't get disabled. So you're going to trigger the alarm no matter what. So you're just going to want to go inside. In the very back, there's going to be a computer and just go ahead and follow all the prompts. And then you're going to have another one of these brute force little mini games. And then you've just got to plant the explosives. This is pretty self-explanatory, but there is going to be markers on the walls that you can see here. And you just got to plant all 3 explosives. And then leave the office and it'll prompt you letting you know you've got a new contact to call the detonate bomb. So go ahead and do that. And again, you're going to have to lose the cops. But once you've lost the cops, head on back to your salvage yard. So now we've got the skylift. And I personally thought this was the most difficult mission that I've had so far out of all of these. Mainly because the first time I did it, I attempted it and I did die. And I failed it because I blew up the helicopter. But I didn't have any snacks or armor. So when I was trying to steal the helicopter, I got shot. And then the helicopter obviously started falling down and it blew up. So I failed the mission. So just make sure you have snacks. But anyway, once you start this thing up, you're going to head on over to Sandy Shores Airfield. For my second attempt, I just ended up, instead of using my oppressor, I just used the Sparrow because it has unlimited rockets and you can missile spam. So I took out as many as I could, but then I was taken down. Now, these helicopters are brutal. Look at this. I think I died over again and over and over and over to these bloody rockets, man. Eventually, I was able to take him out with the railgun, but my god, they were annoying. So once you've taken out all the helicopters, go ahead and just make sure you take out any stragglers that are down around the skylift. And then you just got to steal the skylift. Obviously, once again, you got to lose the cops because why not? And then head back to your salvage yard. Actually, it's not the salvage yard. This one's actually the airstrip just outside. You don't need to go to the salvage yard for this one. But once you've dropped off the helicopter, jump back on your oppressor because you have some tasks to do. So for me, my first task was the flares down near the docks. So I just flew around on my oppressor until I could find them. I'm sure it'll be the same location for you, but mine was on this box right here next to the wastewater. And it's that easy. Once you pick them up, just head back to the salvage yard. But not before losing the cops. All right, so my second task was the boat. We needed to steal a boat. You're going to head on over to the location. And this one, again, make sure you've got snacks and armor because there is a lot of people in here. They've got really good guns and they've got really good bloody aim. So just make sure you take them all out and have lots of ammo and armor and snacks. But once you've got them all, you're going to be able to steal a boat. Now, you can steal whichever one you want, whichever boat, or you can steal a jet ski. I went for the red one myself, personally, which ended up, it was red here. But when as you'll see in a minute, it ended up being red and yellow. So it did change color, so that was weird. But once you've stolen the boat, you're just going to head on back to your salvage yard, as always. And my final task was all the way up in Sandy Shores. Hopefully yours wasn't this far, but it was just to pick up bolt cutters. It was so far just to get bloody bolt cutters. At least the cops weren't chasing me for this one. Once you've got the bolt cutters, you just head back to the salvage yard. And now we can finally start the cargo ship robbery. So for me, I took on over my Oppressor Mark II, got him a dinghy, but as you can see, it's bloody red and yellow now. I don't know why. I mean, it is what it is. Same thing happens with the Cayo Perico heist, I guess. So I just avoided. I actually did this one stealthy. You'd be proud of me, but I avoided the boats, jumped in the water, and then you've got to climb up the anchor, as you can see right here. Now, I was thinking to myself, because as you guys can see, I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this stealthy. There's so many people all over the place. So I ended up jumping down here, and I went to the left, and I was able to squeeze through this little cone of vision right here. Then I just sat here and waited. I could see the people on the minimap, and I was looking ahead, as you can see on that minimap. I'm like, how on earth am I going to make it past all of these people? But I waited until this guy turns. As soon as he turned, we went upstairs, up the ladder, as you can see right here. And then we shot him in the face. But this gun does have a silencer on it, so make sure you have a silenced weapon. Now, once I took him out, I was like, okay, where do we go? And then I saw this box, and I was like, okay. Now I get it. We're doing some bloody Lara Croft Tomb Raider type maneuvers. I'm down for that. So then you just got to make your way up across all of these cargo containers, taking out a few people along the way. And then at this point, I was like, okay, I don't know how to do this. Do I get down? Nope, just run and jump. Once you've done the run and jump, you're just going to head on around here, go up the stairs. There's one more person at the top of the stairs you can just take out. You don't really need to, though. I was looking around trying to figure out where I needed to go, but you actually just go in the first door that's right there. Now, I ended up triggering the alarm here. I think it was because I was too late. I think if you would have just shot them immediately, I would have been able to do this. But as you can see, I took my time and one of them ended up seeing me. Now, I don't know, like I say, if it automatically triggers it. Let me know if you guys have done this yourself. But I have a feeling it automatically triggers it. So anyway, you're going to search the captain. Once you've searched him and got the codes, you're just going to go into the console next to the captain, type in the codes, and then it shows where the position of it is to your helicopter. Now, I ran upstairs to this part right here just to take out the Sparrow driver. Or the Sparrow pilot, because I wanted to make sure he was gone. And now you need to go down and figure out which one of these containers is the one that has your car in it. So for me, I ran on down. A few of the staircases are blocked, so I just kept going until I found one that wasn't, and then went up onto the crates once again. And luckily for me, the very first crate I went into happened to be the car that we were looking for. So as soon as you found the car, you have to place the flare on the side of it, as you can see right here. and then your helicopter is going to come and pick it up. But at this point, you need to protect it. So jump on down and grab the Sparrow, which is what I did right here. And you're going to have, I think it's like 2 or 3 waves of helicopters that are going to come. But for me, at least, they were very easy to take out. I didn't really have any issues. I took out all 3. And then as you can see right here, as it was dropping off, there was hardly any damage to the Skylift at all. So anyway, once the Skylift is taken off, I landed down next to it, pick up your vehicle, ramped it over the roof, because why the bloody hell not? And then you've just got to deliver it to the salvage yard. And for this one, fortunately, there was no bloody police. We could drive back in peace. I don't mind the bad guys chasing me. Those guys are useless. It's the police that are annoying, man. And there we go. Robbery complete. Now, for this one, I ended up getting 50,000. I got the full bonus. So for this one, is no lives lost. So I got a 10,000 bonus for that. Reach the bridge undetected. I got a 10,000 bonus for that. So you don't need to, but you get a bonus if you do. Over 80% of the Skylift health remaining, which it was. And then all challenges complete, which I did. That, ladies and gentlemen, is all of the robberies complete. Let's move on. All right, guys. So now that we have collected all 3 cars, it is time to sell them. So what we'll do is we'll do the first one in an invite-only lobby, which we are currently in. We'll do another one in a public lobby to see if it makes a difference. Now, if it does make a difference, we'll sell the third one in a public lobby. If it doesn't, we'll just do it in an invite-only lobby. So let's go ahead for our first one. We'll just do the Gauntlet Hellfire right here. Go ahead and sell for 340,000. Now, like I said earlier, if I salvage this, it will basically go on the chopping board right here, and it'll take 48 hours in-game. 48 minutes, sorry. So an in-game day it'll take to salvage this thing for 272,000, or we can get 340k for doing it ourselves, and that's what we're going to be doing here today. Are you sure you want to? Yes, please. All right, so we're just going to answer and hang up immediately. That way it just makes it a little bit faster. And now all of these are going to be in the same cell location. They're all going to be at the dock. Now, obviously, we want to make sure maybe there's going to be some bad guys chasing us. Maybe there's going to be some police, because I feel like I say, this is the Cops and Robbers DLC. But since this is our first cell mission here today, obviously, I would assume there's not going to be any bad guys or police chasing us. We'll see what happens, though, for the second and third. But anyway, let's speed this up a little bit. All right, so here we are coming up to the locations. Exactly the same as if you do the import-exports delivery mission. Same location. So we should get whatever it was, the 340k. There was no one chasing us there. And there we go, 340,000. We didn't lose any money from payment loss. I'm assuming that's from damage. So anyway, now what we'll do is go in a public lobby and see if it makes any difference. All right, so here we are. There's 20 people in this lobby. You can see we have 31,500 right now, and I haven't been doing anything to that wall safe. So it's gone up by quite a bit, and I haven't done anything. So what we're going to do now is we're going to sell this in a public lobby and see if it makes any difference. So you can see it is 260k originally. Let's see if we get an in-demand bonus. So let's go ahead and sell this thing. All right, so here we go. We're just going to cancel or hang up on him. We're going to the exact same place. So it'll be interesting to see, A, do we get an in-demand bonus? And B, are we going to get NPCs that are going to be chasing us on this one? I can see there's some players on the map in front of me. So let's just go ahead and speed this up and see what happens. And can I just say, this is one of the worst handling, slowest cars I've ever been in. I thought this was going to be a decent car, man. I didn't remember when I stole it what it was like to drive. But it is so slow. I am pedal to the metal right now. And we're not moving. And it turns and it brakes like it's a brick house. All right, and here we are coming up to the location once again. Let's see if we actually get any bonuses. So 260, as you can see, was what it said we were going to get. Are we going to get? We do get in-demand bonuses when we do sell in from vehicle cargo, so I don't see why it wouldn't, but I'm assuming it might not. Taking a while to load, and 260. So no payment loss and no in-demand bonus, which is interesting, because there is definitely zero reason whatsoever to sell this in a public lobby. Even the vehicle cargo warehouses give you in-demand bonus, so that's interesting. But anyway, let's go back to an invite, because this isn't worth it. All right, and last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, the Ommagio. Let's go ahead and sell this for 395. There's no reason for me to salvage this because the delivery missions, you get paid more and it is faster than waiting 48 minutes. So let's go ahead and sell this thing. And by the way, if you haven't driven this car already, absolutely amazing, but do not buy it yet. And I'll be telling you guys why here in a second. So let's go ahead and speed this up until we get there. All right, and here we are once again coming up to the sell point. Incredibly amazing handling car. I wish it sounded a little bit better. It doesn't sound that great. I did do a little bit of damage at the beginning just because I wasn't paying attention and hit a lamppost. So there we go. 394 instead of 395. We lost a few $100s there because of my awful driving. All right, so let's head on back to the shop. All right, now you can see when you log into your PC now, it is sold. They're all sold. Now it is 1 week. This is a real cooldown of 1 real week. I don't know if GTA or Rockstar is going to change this in the future to make it every day or every couple days, but it has a 1 week cooldown as of right now, which is insane. All right, guys, so what I was actually going to say is do not buy the Grotti Ommagio just yet, because you might be able to get it for free. Now, I didn't get it for free, so I went back and looked at the comments, which was left on one of my videos earlier today, saying you could get it for free if you complete all 3 of the robberies for the new chop shop. Now, it turns out it may just be for GTA Plus members. He was on PlayStation 5 and he said he completed all 3 of them, and after he delivered the final one, he got the Grotti Ommagio for free. So if you have GTA Plus, before you buy the car, make sure you complete all 3 of these and see if you get it for free. But that is going to do it for this business, ladies and gentlemen. If you enjoyed this guide, please consider hitting that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, turn on notifications so you know when I upload more videos like this. I'm going to have loads of videos this week, obviously, on this new DLC, showing you guys the best, fastest, easiest way to make money, as always. So I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Maybe check out some of the other videos I did earlier today if you want to see some more. But either way, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, like I say, and I'll see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Goodbye.